Well, thank you for staying tuned. We'll delve straight into the conversation of the day. Across the Niger Delta, government after government rolled out special projects, some with great fanfare, others quietly tucked away. But the real challenge is not just in awarding contracts, it's in monitoring, implementation, and ensuring value for money. Now, in Akwa Ibom, the State House of Assembly has a dedicated committee on special projects and monitoring to keep a close eye on these initiatives. Now, today we have with us the man directly overseeing that responsibility, Right Honorable Uwem Imoh-Ita, a member of the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly and chairman of the Committee on Special Projects and Monitoring. You're welcome on the program. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Well, when we hear about projects monitoring, some people might need some clarity as regarding what truly constitutes the kind of work you do when we talk about this particular committee and project monitoring.
All right, thank you for having me here. And first of all, let me also thank our viewers for having us also. Here, special project monitoring is a special committee in the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly. And it's not just the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly. Almost all other state houses of assembly, they do have a project monitoring committee, but ours here in the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly is a special monitoring committee. And we are saddled with with just one single responsibility of ensuring that we go out and then see what government is doing, what they are doing with the money collected from the federal allocation, and then ensure that the contractors, especially contractors, get it all right, work according to specification. They don't cut corners, and then deliver on time. Not just working to specification, but also delivering on time, so that the people could make good use of such projects.
All right, Honorable. Well, apart from just ensuring that contractors deliver right on time and ensuring that they deliver quality as well, there are also concerns around abandonment of projects. Does your committee also handle that across, when we talk about the Akwa Ibom State now, does your committee also have the responsibility of ensuring that abandoned projects are followed through and monitored effectively towards ensuring that they are completed?
Wow, thank you for that question. Unfortunately, we come to see projects abandoned by incoming administrations. It's an unfortunate thing. In Akwa Ibom State, we are grateful that we had governors who continue with projects initiated by their predecessors. But we do have a few, one or two there, and what we do is go oversee what really happened there and why they were abandoned, and probably make genuine suggestions and appeal to the government to ensure that those projects are completed. Because it's not just a project for the government, it was a project meant to better the lives of Akwa Ibomites and the general residents of Akwa Ibom State as a whole. So yeah, there could be one or two challenges before such acts where such abandonment was done, but it's not something that cannot be handled or corrected. But we think we've gone out to see one or two of them, and then the government is responsive, and they've taken up a few also for completion.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Well, one of your very first activity handling this committee was actually the Victor-Ita International Airport, and you did quite some work there, and there were promises made regarding completion of some sections of the Victor-Ita International Airport. Could you bring us up to speed with some of those gains that have been achieved since your visitation there?
We went to the Victor-Ita International Airport when we came on board, and to see for ourselves what's really going on there, because the past administration gave us good projects there. The International Smart Building, the MRO, expansion of the tarmac, the runway, and other things like that. So when we came in, we needed to also go and have first-hand information, so as to also brief our people, because every Akwa Ibomite is interested in the completion and of that project. Yeah, they are lovely projects. If you take a ride to the International Smart Building, you'll be amazed with what is happening there. And then the MRO, to the best of my knowledge, they had little funds delay, but as we speak, government has been giving them funds duly to ensure that between their promised date, they get everything completed. We've not gone there again to see the level of work done, but I believe by the time we go, when we resume from our recess, where they should be getting to about 90-something% completion. What, like the International Smart Building, the last time we went there, they had imported most of their equipment, because that is not just a passenger place. It's an international smart building where everything is computerized and up to date. So they had to get some of those things imported, and then of course we know the challenges of getting clearance and all those custom issues. But by now, I believe those things must have been brought to their site, and then some must have been installed. So by the time we go back there, we expect to see a 97-98% completion.
Your revisitation there, is it going to happen right after your recess? I mean,
Yeah.
Because I mean, it doesn't stop at just inspection. You have to follow up with all of these projects towards ensuring that they're actually completed, right?
Yeah, it's going to take place immediately after our resumption. Maybe a few weeks or a month, because you need to formally inform them that you are coming, and then everybody should be on site. Not just going there as a person or as a committee. We ensure that every contractor is on site, handling different aspects of the project in the airport. So we inform them, and then we go there as a team.
All right. The Akwa Ibom State government doesn't just have projects in Akwa Ibom alone. They have other projects in Abuja, in Lagos, and even the governor had recently announced the decision to invest in an 18-story tower in Lagos called the Ibom Towers. And a lot of reactions were generated, some for and some against it. This is also your area, and you must have first-hand insights regarding if this is a wise investment for the state government, because a lot of people are also of the opinion, how is this going to benefit the state government and the people of Akwa Ibom State, because they are not interested in having projects that do not really bring about the needed gains or dividends that the people are looking for.
Well, it's unfortunate that most people do not understand the gains in real estate. And then we want to thank the government and the governor for conceiving that idea. Yeah, we are in the legislative arm, and they also have their programs in the executive arm of government. Ours is to give the enabling environment. Ours is to make the enabling law. Ours is to give them the much needed support for such a project to thrive. If you take a trip to Lagos, you understand that where the project is sited is one of the highbrow areas of Lagos State, and real estate is big money in Lagos State, not just in Lagos State, in Nigeria. So for those who may have the dissenting views or voices concerning that, it's obvious that it's not everybody that will accept some of those policies of government or projects of government. But by the time we have enough time to educate as much as possible, sensitize, inform them on the gains we tend to receive at the end of the day, I believe some of those persons who must have had it on the wrong side will really applaud the government and the governor for conceiving and then ensuring that this project comes on board. And of course, as a committee, we will also go there. As a committee, we'll also go there to find out what has been done since after the groundbreaking. We'll go there to find out what has been done and the level of funds and work.
Indeed. Well, another very interesting project of the state government is the bulk purchase agency, which is of course within your purview as well. Could you bring us up to speed with what you feel this project holds or signifies for the Akwa Ibom people? Of course, as you had earlier said, there will definitely be criticisms of persons of the opinion that why giving out free food and all of that. What's your perspective on the bulk purchase agency and its activities thus far? I understand that the third phase had commenced.
Okay, unfortunately, bulk purchase agency is not under the special project committee, but since it's a government project and policy, the House of Assembly had given the government the necessary support and mandates to establish that agency through the approval of the bill that was sent in to establish that agency. And basically, what I think the agency is doing is to ensure that they get to the very, very, very vulnerable persons. In our societies, we have so many of them. Different local government areas, different villages, even in our homes. And it's not everything that we can be able to do for them as a team, but where government comes in to ensure that those very, very, very vulnerable ones are identified and then given a sense of belonging, given a sense of government presence and touch. We stand to also support that and commend the government for that. If you see the processes of getting these food items to the people at the rural areas, we must commend the transparency in doing that, because so many processes are brought in and then so many checks are involved. But I can assure you that at the end of every process or everything, everybody identified on that list gets what should be meant for him. And we thank the governor for that, and we want to believe that he's going to continue, not just in this first term, continue even into the second term, and then every other successive government to that same line. In foreign climes, we have aged programs like that and the vulnerable programs like that, and they get a good quality outreach from government and probably also corporate individuals. But for now, government is doing that. We want to believe that corporate individuals and companies will also key into that to give a sense of belonging to the very, very vulnerable persons.
All right, right, Honorable Uwem Imoh-Ita. You're representing Mkpat Enin people,
Yeah,
and I would believe that it's been quite a journey for you, especially when having to deal with all manner of people and the kind of representation that you hope to bring, that it truly trickles down to the very grassroots. I'd like you to bring us up to speed with what it has been like, especially when you are putting that side by side with the kind of committee that you chair. Have you been able to go around? What are those special needs that you have been able to tackle for the Mkpat Enin people?
Okay, let me thank you for also bringing my constituency into this discussion. Coming into the House of Assembly has been a wonderful experience. I didn't just come into the House of Assembly. I've had experiences at the grassroots. I served as a councillor representing my ward, Uwem Ward 3, between 2004 and 2007. And I also served as a supervisor for education, youth and sports, 2012 to 2015. So I must have had the experience of this grassroots relationship. And then coming into the House of Assembly is just another advantage into leadership and governance. Yeah, the experience in the House of Assembly is quite different from the ones we had at the grassroots, because this one you are exposed to several level of interaction, lawmaking, bills, articulation, and then oversight functions, and then constituent projects and relationship. So it's different from the ones we had at the micro political structure. As a person, I've tried to make leadership accessible to everybody. What do I mean by that? Make myself available to as many as possible. I tend to open my doors for persons to come in, bring up their issues, and then the ones that we can solve immediately, we do that. The ones we need to refer and take it up, present it at the floor of the Akwa House of Assembly, we do that. All I do is people-oriented. All I do, my motions and activities are all people-oriented. For instance, if you listen some weeks ago, in the radio and social media and so many things like that, we had to bring up a case that had to do with the coconut refinery workers. And then what was the issue? The issue was just that salaries were owed for about 7 months or thereabout.
We understand that story was twisted.
It wasn't twisted to the best of my knowledge, and
Twisted in the sense that some people were alleging that it called for the proof of the former governor.
That's a wrong perception about that, because if you have the motion, you see the storyline is straight, distinct, defined, and then the prayer, because when you make a motion, you must also make prayers. The prayers were very clear. And what were the prayers? Please let government create a committee, investigate what really happened and why these people have not been paid, and also ensure that these people are paid. As I speak to you now, the governor, being a responsive governor and a father, compassionate one to that for that matter, had set up a committee, and within a week or two, those people were paid. So it wasn't meant to probe Mr. A or Mr. B or anybody. It was just, please, these people have been working for 6 months, 7 months, they've not been paid. And then if you look at the dependent downline, some fathers are there, mothers are there, family, brothers, sisters, uncles, and the load was much on the people. But excitedly, everything is okay now, and they are living their lives. Some of them are going back to work, and they are appreciative of the governor. So what we do is that we engage ourselves in people-oriented motions, activities, and then when we came on board, one of the first motions we had to do, for presentation we had to do, was make a plea for the major trunk A road that leads into Enin, and that is from 42 to Ikoropadin. And of course, we know Ikoropadin is one of the heartbeat of Enin, where we have the Akwa State University permanent campus. So if that road is in a deplorable state, it's going to cut off almost 80% of Enin from accessing Ikoropadin. So one of the things we did was to present that, and the government of Akwa State, through the governor, graciously awarded a contract for that road to be done. As we speak, the road is under construction.
All right.
And then we believe that in a few months from now, it will be completed, and then people will make very good use of it. We've tried to also get to people quietly. We have some intervention projects for people, little assistance, support here and there, and the rest. But we intend to do the mega one.
All right.
That will be the public show and all those things, where so many people will be involved, and then empowerment comes in a larger form also. But for now, we are touching the lives of persons quietly, and then we don't like publicizing them. But with the one, we need to gather people around, which is what is expected.
All right.
We do that. Also, we've sent out about 17, 18 persons right now, youths, on learning of skills, special skills, because we must also key in and catch into that advantage and privilege of having an oil company in that axis. Some of them had been trained on some certain project areas like what do you call welding, and some of those oil-related skills. But this one now, we need to also train another certain persons on another certain level of skills, and which is a truck driving, operating of all those equipments.
All right.
And they've done that. We believe between the next 3 months, that first phase will be off. We'll take the second phase, and we keep touching them at that level. We also intend to get into assisting students. In the next 2-3 weeks, about 100 students will be given educational support of about 100,000 just to aid them. They buy books and then do certain things. But we'll do that in 2 batches. The first one will be 50, the next one between, after that, a month after that, to take the next 50.
Right, Honorable. We would have to extract a commitment from you to return to our studios to have this conversation. I'm sure you have a lot of other stuff to tell us regarding your representation and the issue of ensuring that special projects that come up within Akwa Ibom State, and also insights regarding how to handle projects of this nature across the Niger Delta region. I must thank you very much, Right Honorable Uwem Imoh-Ita, member, Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, representing the good people of Enin local government area. Thank you very much for coming on Niger Delta today. Appreciate your insights on the program.
Thank you very much for having me, and I can also assure you next time you invite me, I'll come again. It's a wonderful experience being here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. So we'll take a breather and return with the next conversation of the day, which has us looking at the oil and gas sector and ways of safeguarding it. Do stay tuned.